turn this so that everyone can get a good view of Jess over here. There she is. How is everybody doing tonight? How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
Nice. Not tired or anything like that? You're feeling pretty good?
Yeah, I feel good.
Nice. Did you get your stretches in today?
Always.
Always stretching. I don't know if you guys seen her stretching routine on top of the forms. That's how she does it. Right on top of the Earthbag wall, she stretches it out.
Gotta keep it loose and limber.
Loose and limber. Built on the Rock Homestead. How you doing? How you doing tonight? Ralph, hello. Desert Dog, good to see you.
I see we have a new member.
And we got a
That's
new
Chris.
member.
Welcome, Chris.
Well, thank you, Chris. Welcome. It's an honor. That didn't show up on my thing. No, see, you got all the you got all the info. Geeky Gardens, hello. Hello. So, man, this week has been crazy.
You say that every week.
That's because every week is crazy. Man, these winds lately have been terrible, haven't they?
Yeah.
Now, luckily, these past couple of days, we actually got a little bit of a break, and all these winds, these past couple of days have been amazing, haven't they?
Today was beautiful.
Today was a beautiful day.
Yeah, we got to get out and do some hiking this morning.
We took crew out, did some hiking.
Oh, yay.
Clay's, wow. Thank you so much. That is amazingly generous. I swear I do not keep her locked up in the window form. I did coax her to get in there. She did not quite get in there of her own volition. But how was that? How was that, like climbing in and out of there?
It was a little scary, but
Did you feel incarcerated when you were in there?
it's it's a little claustrophobic, but no, I didn't have a problem with it.
So, where did we leave off in the last video? I don't even remember what our last video was.
You don't?
Was that cabin?
I think so.
Do you remember?
No,
She was like all over me, and then I don't remember either. No, I believe it was the cabin. Very cool. It was amazing getting all that done in like pretty much a couple of days, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think we could get like 4 courses cobbed in that amount of time?
I did not.
Now, luckily, that first day we had some visitors come. Robert and Jenny, they were it was very nice of them to be able to help. We knocked half of that cobbing done. I think it was like 3 hours or something like that. Now the next day, I kind of did it for the most part by myself. You were able to get out there for a little bit, and that took a decent amount of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But got it done. Looking really. Oh, the last video was the welcome video. How could I forget that?
Oh, right.
It's a channel trailer, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. People got a little bit upset about that. Like, is this the video that they're putting out? But honestly, thanks for everyone for putting up with that 1 minute video. I know people want to see the progress on the dome. But that actually took quite a while to put together, right?
Took a little while. Wanted to kind of plan some things out and
I mean, I kind of came up with the kind of the backbone of what we are going to say during the video, but you had the hard task of going back, finding some of these clips that you thought were suitable and everything like that. And you really kind of put everything together for that, right?
yeah.
Was that a challenge?
A little bit.
Nothing you're not used to, huh?
Yeah.
But it still took a while to put that together, right?
Yeah.
Not quite as long as a regular video, but still took pretty long. And so, like, I didn't want to put the onus on her of like trying to put out basically 2 videos to try and meet up with that schedule, and we gotta get to building. So I was like, you know what? Let's just do the trailer. We'll put that out as the regular video. That way we could kind of get that out there, keep building, and so on. So I think that ended up working out pretty nicely.
Yeah,
Would you
pretty cool.
guys? So what'd you guys think of that? Something that we've been thinking about doing for a while. We never got the chance to put it together. Finally, we decided, you know what? It's about time. Put something together to kind of introduce people to the channel. I don't know. What'd you guys think? Did you guys like that?
Let's see, some people are saying they enjoyed it. The strangest part was seeing Jim in a long sleeve collared shirt.
Oh yeah, weird, huh?
Yeah, weird.
But I assure you, I was just kind of dressed up from the waist up. From the waist down, it was still all business. Did you guys get any of these techniques from Cal Earth?
Yes, kind of indirectly.
Kind of indirectly. We bought Nader Khalili's book.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, yeah, I mean, we got some of that knowledge from the guy that started up Cal Earth.
And one of our friends in the area, who was one of our inspirations when we first moved out here, we met with her and talked with her, and she has an Earthbag home out here, and she studied directly under Nader Khalili before he died. So, yeah, that was pretty cool.
So indirectly, we got some Cal Earth knowledge going on out here.
Yeah, and you attended one of her workshops too.
Mm-hmm. I got to, but no, I didn't get to build with her. I kind of got to attend the closing of one of those domes and some of the plastering. Mm-hmm. I got my hands on kind of building with earth bags in another area, kind of in another place kind of close by. Mm-hmm. But your first introduction to earth bags was really right here, right?
Yep.
You didn't attend anything, right? It was just kind of books until we got into our own projects.
Yep.
Was that daunting?
A little bit, but I think it helped that we started out with some really simple projects first before we got into the bigger ones.
Yeah, we kind of made some. It was like we just filled a couple bags and stacked them. Then we made like a little bench, and then we built a giant cistern.
Now, Ralph asks what we're planning on doing for heating the house. Ooh. That's something we were just talking about today.
Very appropriate question.
Yeah,
timing wise, because that is something we're looking into right now.
Yeah, we have to do some kind of pre-planning for that as we're building.
So, I mean, so let's talk a little bit about the progress we've made. So now that we finished that cobbing, we finished a whole nother course. We got course number 10 done, which is nice. And we were going to jump right into course number 11. We'd be already working on course number 11, but we had to pull back because we realized there's a bunch of things that we needed to do. One was adjust the arch form above the doorway. We needed to get that kind of moved back and propped up a little bit. So I got that done. I need to build cleats. I got cleats built. Those are almost in place. And then heating is the next big thing that we could just kind of have to plan for. We're not installing anything right now, but we're really interested in doing a rocket mass heater. So right now we have to kind of decide where we want the exit pipe of the rocket mass heater. And that's kind of where we're at right now. But I'm excited. I'm excited to be planning this. Mm-hmm. Do you want to?
Rock Have you got any rain recently? No.
No.
Kind of, I guess, just sprinkles.
Yeah, it might have been some light sprinkles, but we had some cloudy days, and we had a day where it seemed like it was gonna rain, but then it never got anything. I'm hoping, but people are thinking we're getting a lot of wind, so maybe this portends of a good rainy season. Now you kind of knew that the last monsoon season was going to be pretty dry. Did you get any information on this upcoming monsoon season? Hmm. I loved watching my little homestead make the rocket stove. So cool. Yeah. They built a two or th- they built a bunch, right? You know how many they built?
I don't know. I saw at least two.
At least two. But of course, we're gonna be referencing their videos when building our own stuff. But we got a book all about building rocket mass heaters. We're kind of going through that, not understanding any word of any of it.
Are you going to combine your rocket mass into hot water production with coiled piping?
Well, that's an idea.
I thought about maybe something like that. Let me try something like that.
It's possible I might incorporate that, or maybe even just some coiled pipes with, and then just have it heated by the sun. Some solar water, pipe it in. Of course, all that's got to be pre-planned. When does monsoon start and stop in southeast Arizona? It's technically it starts in June and then ends in September. Is that accurate?
That's
technically.
Technically?
Right?
That's what I've heard.
But really, what we've experienced so far is that the rains really don't come until July, maybe mid-July. And then you might see it kind of die out in early September.
We usually get the bulk of our rain.
That one year was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The year before last.
Yeah.
We were spoiled that year. That year was so beautiful. Like June was hot that year. But then once the rains came, everything cooled off and it was really nice again until like the end of summer. And then we had another couple hot weeks. And then it was really nice, wasn't it? Now this past monsoon season, we really didn't get almost any rain, and the temperatures were just like hot all the time. It was kind of a brutal summer. How'd you fare in there? How'd you deal with it?
Oh, it's a little rough for me because like we were out working like almost every day. It was really hot and sunny, and I'm kind of fair skinned, so I got some sunburn. So I had to just wear a big wide brimmed hat and sunglasses.
Yeah, we were doing some pretty brutal work in a brutal temperatures, and it's gonna happen like that again. Yeah. It's even gonna be worse because we're gonna be up high on top of those domes, so it's gonna be intense.
Just have to make sure we drink plenty of water.
Stay hydrated. That's really what's important.
Breaks in the shade.
Any interesting finds on the walks with the pup? That's funny that you should mention that, because we are developing quite the collection of bones out here.
Like bringing back bones. I don't. He's very good at finding bones.
Always. I don't know how he does it. Well, good smell, I guess. And yeah, he just homes in on it, and you won't expect it because like he kind of smelling a lot, and but every now and then he'll just lead you to a collection of dead things. He finds dead things really well.
Usually it's cattle bones.
So he did lead me to a couple of dead cows, and we were able to I picked up a skull, really interesting cow skull, had the horns intact and everything like that. That was pretty wild. And then I picked up another skull recently which I wasn't 100% sure what that is. You thinking it's maybe like a baby cow, right? Calf. It looks kind of similar to the cow, just smaller.
Yeah, no. This morning we went hiking in the mountains at the
Oh,
nearby wildlife refuge, and that was a little crazy. It was a really nice day.
it's
And
beautiful.
we're walking down the trail, and then we hear like this loud, like thudding and crunching sounds. I'm like, what's that? It's like, it sounds like something big.
Hmm.
It was like right ahead of the us on the trail. And then crew starts going crazy, right?
Like he smelled them before we even saw them.
And across the trail comes a herd of cows, just roaming around on the mountainside on the state land.
Needless to say, our early morning walk kind of became an early morning run for me. I mean, that guy was pulling hard. And I didn't want to just like try and put on the brakes because that terrain is so rocky. I didn't want to end up like going to sliding and just have him just drag me along these rocks or something like that. It was insane. I was waiting until I could get a like a decent terrain where I could just kind of hold him back
Yeah. And then the cows crossed again, like further
for
on.
on. Then he got upset then again.
Yep. And on the way back.
Man, if he smells animals, especially cows, he goes nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of crazy this live right here. For us, for the rest of the country, it's like normal time, no big deal. But for us, it's like an hour earlier because we don't do daylight savings time. But I thought, kind of cool because I'm a little bit more awake, a little bit fresher.
Yeah.
It's not so close to my bedtime. How are you feeling with the earlier live?
The same.
I don't know if any of our AZ moderators are on because they might be thinking it's still six
Oh,
o'clock.
right.
They're lost.
Drew Smith asked, 2021 spring garden. I don't have anything planned.
Yeah.
I guess I'm holding back. So we're focusing on the house build, but it would be nice to get some things started. And well, we might start planting some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about planning on where we want to put some trees and things, so we might start doing that while we're building the house. But
I'm pulling in some earthworks. I might start building stuff to prepare to grow things. I'm interested in
yeah,
some wicking beds, some earthworks. So I got plans,
yeah, I think
but
we need to do some more preparation first.
oh, and then when we're ready, it's gonna be a growathon out here. Robin Lanter just paid her property taxes today. 742.86. At least I don't have a mess. Exactly. No
Yes,
mortgage payment.
nice not to have mortgage. Did you ever get the rain gutters fixed?
No.
It's another project
It's
that
another
needs.
mission that I gotta
Yeah,
do.
I have to try to get it done now during the dry part of the year before rain
I
comes.
it's gonna be like a side thing, and I'm gonna be doing a little bit at a time. The last thing I got was just all the rest of the boards taken off out there. Then the next thing will be the thing I'm really kind of hesitating. It shouldn't take too long to put up another system. What I'm really hesitating on is cleaning the gutters that I have. Some of that silicone caulk is just is tough to get out of there. So I'm really gonna get that caulk out of there, clean things really well, and that way we can use those gutters that we have. And I just put them back up. And then we have PVC pipe that already I can use, but I have to clean those off too. We painted those, so I just want to get some of the paint off the ends because otherwise you can't really get a good seal on the PVC piping
Right.
if it's painted. It has to be PVC to PVC. Tony's in the house. Hey, glad you could make it.
Jimmy asks, what do y'all eat regularly? Grown stuff, or grocery store, or packaged food, or rattlesnakes, or
Well, a
what?
little bit of rattlesnake.
We still go to the grocery store because we're not growing enough to eat. But we'd like to grow most of our food once we can get enough growing.
Yeah, that's gonna be like right now. I'd say if we had like a phase for our channel, obviously building a house right now is kind of the phase we're in.
Our infrastructure.
But once we get this house built, then it'll be I think we'll be focusing a lot more on growing.
Mm.
But there'll still be building projects. So I mean that's gonna be a never ending thing.
Yeah.
Really. So if you like the building, don't worry. There's still gonna be plenty of that. But we're gonna add a lot more growing to our arsenal as well. What do you guys think? Would you guys like to see a mix of in these videos of building and growing, or would you like to keep those topics kind of separate? Thank you for giving me Clay's number. Found some property in the south end of Bisbee in Iskra. Oh,
Oh, nice.
well, that's awesome, Kurt. Yeah, Clay is a great resource. I love kind of sending people his way that are looking for property because that's kind of what it's kind of what he specializes in. Kind of like, he kind of lives the off grid life, so I think he understands what people are looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, Stella said, I would love it if you guys would put a video together from when you guys first started out, clear through till now. I love watching you guys. You're so cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we actually have videos kind of going back from like when we were.
Yeah, maybe we should do like a recap video sometime, kind of showing everything. That'd be cool.
Are you into that? Because that sounds like a lot of work on your part.
It would be. But yeah, I think I would enjoy that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll have to put that on the agenda.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys plan to put gutters on your domes to catch the runoff rain? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. It would be heartbreaking to have all that surface area that the domes provide and not be catching water off of it. That's definitely going to be one of our big things. We're going to place water catchment up on the domes, and of course, we'll build another cistern to go along with that. Are you gonna want to have some time after the house built before starting on another cistern?
Nah, gotta keep
Oh, she's like, let's bring it on. I'm not saying it's going to be an Earthbag cistern. It might be something else. We'll see. So many options available.
When are you gonna get scaffolding?
Oh, that's a good question. Uh, you're thinking we might need scaffolding soon, right?
Yep.
I'm not opposed to buying some type of scaffolding that we put together. But another idea I have is just like throwing 2x4s in between some of the bags. Then once we build onto it, then we can put some plywood, attach some plywood, and then we can kind of move that around
and make platforms. Yeah. And then it might be a good thing to have the 2x4s sticking out in case we need anything else attached to the outside of the house.
It could possibly be used as attachment points or even kind of like cleats in a way. You just cut off the ends flush to the bags, and then that's a possible attach point. Well, yeah, same thing. But you could either like leave the boards uncut or cut them.
You estimate the cost of your house when complete.
Oh, that's going to be a little tough at this point because we have ideas and things we'd like to do with the house.
Mm-hmm.
So some things are kind of up in the air, and it would add a bit more cost. Like straw bales are something we were thinking about adding.
Mm-hmm.
If we had straw bales, that would add a significant cost to the build. I'm thinking the straw bales alone could be over $1,000 if we ended up doing that for
Each
one
time.
dome, like over $1,000 for one dome. So it's a decent investment. So we got to decide whether we really want to do that or not, how our finances are looking at the time. And then I don't know, really know at this point what the electrical will cost either.
Oh yeah.
The electrical is going to be another decent investment with all the wiring that we'll need.
Mm.
Some of that stuff isn't too bad, but the wiring I think could get costly.
But I think still it's gonna cost a lot less than like your typical
Oh yeah,
conventionally built house.
for sure.
Like a lot less.
And there are some things we could have done to make it a lot cheaper. You know, one thing we decided to do was kind of build underground, and we could have just kind of like maybe just sunk the dome into the ground a bit, but we ended up making two portions, so we kind of had to put like a wood floor up there. So that's going to be a little bit of added cost. And then we might add a loft area to take advantage of the height of the dome because it goes 20 feet up. So adding the loft could add a little bit extra money on there too.
Yeah.
See, Bubba Redneck says the wiring will be crazy expensive. Yeah.
Mm.
So, yeah. That's what I'm a little worried. I'm wondering like how many hundreds of dollars are going to be involved in that. Thousands. We'll see. We're trying to keep the wiring as simply as possible, though. We're not going to have a lot of big, heavy electrical draws. We won't have like a washer or dryer. You don't even want a microwave in there, right?
Not really.
So we might not even have a microwave. That'd be interesting to see like how much energy this house even needs. Maybe like a refrigerator might be one of our big draws, right?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
we'll
the actual wire is expensive. Yeah, that
mm.
exactly. It's like the little outlets and stuff, not that bad, yeah, but the wiring is where it
Mm-hmm.
gets. Psh, psh, psh. I had to do a bunch of wiring for the shed and getting everything hooked up to the RV, and I know how much money was spent on that. So part of that solar system was crazy expensive with all the wiring and stuff
Mm.
that we needed.
99 Nation Videos asks, are you going to follow any Jeff Lawton principles and green the desert like he's done in the Middle East?
Glad you asked that. We're both.
And
Oh,
what kind
someone.
of earthworks?
Yeah, we're both actually Jeff Lawton students. We both kind of took that online PDC.
Yeah.
You took it, and then I took it a little bit later.
Yeah, we were really inspired by his Greening the Desert projects.
So a really well done PDC, very thorough, and we absolutely want to, use a lot of those same principles. Probably doing a lot of swales. I mentioned to you about waffle gardening, and you seem interested, but I don't know if you're sold on it yet. It's kind of like basically sunken beds, but in a
Mm-hmm.
pattern. No, simply Pam. It's not. It's not six. We actually changed with daylight savings time. I know. I know. It's terrible.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Wayward Place asked, do you forage for food? We have.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of interesting getting to know all of the edible foods in the Sonoran Desert area. You don't think of there being a lot of like wild growing things, but there are a lot of edible things.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cacti are edible. So like we've tried prickly pear, both they're called nopalitos, the green pads, and the fruit. You can eat both of those. And there's different kinds of tubers and things that are edible around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Be
Mesquite. You can grind into like a flower, the pods,
yep,
the seeds.
yep. So like a lot of different sources if you just know where to look. Hold the phone. Brain is in Walmart. Hey, how is Cobb not going to dissolve? It
It
will.
might.
It will dissolve eventually.
Mm-hmm. In a drier climate, it takes a long time for it, especially if you use like long straw in there. It really helps to hold it.
And in a dome form, the cob will probably dissolve a
Yeah,
lot quicker.
because there's no roof to protect it.
So generally, if you're building just with cob, yeah, you would want like a decent roof or something like that to protect it. And we would actually, if we just went with cob, we would go over with cob, and then we would go over it again with like a waterproof layer to kind of protect it. But you're thinking that we're not gonna go with like the waterproofing layer. We might end up trying to go a little bit more like using vines to kind of protect the cob. And I think that's an interesting idea. We might try that, but we'll see when we get to that point.
What are you going to do for a roof between the domes? I don't think we really talked about that before.
Wait, what?
A roof between the domes. So like the hallway between.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that.
It's not going to be an Earthbag part of the roof, but it's probably going to be like a vaulted roof in between that kind of connects. And I don't know if we settled on a material yet. I think we talked about ferro cement, possibly.
You okay with going back to ferro cement?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think we're more prepared for ferro cement. We're gonna do that. Pam can't walk because she has a giant burrito in her belly. This is where the cool kids hang out, hidden harvest grow lights. All the cool kids are here. If you use 2x4s, will you pass them through and scaffold both sides, and you can maybe attach cabinets on the inside? Yeah, if we do 2x4s, it'll go. We'll use 8-foot 2x4s. We won't cut them at all. Put them right in between the bags, so we'll have some at the outside, some on the inside. Robin Lanter says she has over 100 trees on her property so far.
Ooh,
way ahead of us.
awesome.
We need to get to planting.
Kurt asks, where's the best place to get solar equipment?
Best place to get solar equipment. I don't know.
In Southeast Arizona. Well, you had to kind of.
I kind of piecemealed everything from a lot of different sources, but I think that Arizona was at Northern Wind and Solar. I hear that's really good. eBay. Oh, there was another place. No, I don't know what it's called now. But there were really good prices on solar panels and stuff like that. Leo Medic says, "Hey from Dragon Clan, if you ever need help, neighbor, we are here and we have training." Well, thank you very much. Well, I will definitely keep you guys in mind. Heirloom Permaculture, what's up? Off-grid McGarvey style, glad to see you. Pam says, when is your house going to be finished? I'm sure you never get that question. Well, whenever you guys get over here to help us, then we could be done a lot sooner. Now that you got that burrito in your belly, you should have plenty of energy to come down here and start filling bags. yeah, eBay can be an excellent resource. Never discount, wherever you can kind of look for to get deals and stuff like that.
Oh, and DSC mentioned, I think when you're talking about putting the 2x4s through the wall for the scaffolding.
Yep, I was just talking about that.
Oh, okay. You saw that?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I guess I wasn't listening to you.
As usual. Unbelievable. Hi guys, can I build with earth bags in Tennessee? I think it's possible. I think I've heard of someone starting an earth bag project in that area. But as always, you can build with earth bags in a lot of different climates and whatnot. But you just got to take extra precautions if you get a lot of rain and it's a lot more wet.
Mm-hmm. There's just different ways of building in
Exactly.
different climates.
Exactly.
If you could rewind time, would you still think this method was better or worse than an Earthship map? I don't know. I don't think it's better or worse. Just different. I like how we're doing it. It kind of fits what we need and what we have and our situation.
Yeah. What we're doing is actually pretty close, really, to an Earthship, just less tires. But we're still kind of using materials that would have otherwise been kind of like discarded. We're taking those materials and using it to build something permanent. So very closely related, like a close cousin. Simply Pam asks, are y'all at the 3-year mark yet?
Close. Right?
When will it have been at 3 years?
May?
Oh, yeah. That'll be 3 years, right? May. I think May it'll be 3 years out here. Oh, that's crazy. Did you think we would already be living in a house by now?
Yes.
It's like it's taking probably all the things out here just seem to be taking a lot longer than anticipated. It's amazing. We thought we'd have a permaculture paradise out here by now. Still, instead we're still building just some of the main things that we need just to live out here. It's crazy.
Do you guys know where I can get some large mesquite? I would like to mail mesquite to make my cabinets for my dome home. Well, not here. Like, we don't have very large mesquite trees around here. Yeah, I don't know where I could find it or buy it, really. All the stuff on our property is like really shrubby stuff.
Yeah. Little shrubby twig-like stuff. March 5th was 3 for us. I also thought it'd be in a house by now. It's crazy how that time just goes by. And living in an RV is so much fun. Ah, man, you missed the 3-year clickbait title. Come on, Jim and Jess. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. We could still do that. 3 years off grid.
Your cob walls at Casa Grande, they're 800 years old. Yeah, remember we used to live right by them.
Wait, where?
The Casa Grande ruins.
Oh yeah, that was cool. We've been there like a few times, didn't we? Because like we went to see it, and then when people would come to visit, we'd take them there. That's pretty remarkable. Andrew says, "Love your channel and the humor." Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's an honor. Really appreciate that. McGarvey, living off grid McGarvey style says, "Wow, you guys have sure done a lot in 3 years. Always takes longer than you think." It's crazy. Like I feel like we haven't done. I feel like we've been out here for 3 years, and it's like I still feel like we haven't done enough. But man, we've been building for like so long like that. The past year was just crazy Earthbag building, and we're still going.
Mm-hmm.
It's now over a year of just building with Earthbags. Shelly says, I just found your channel and subscribed. Loving it. Well, thank you very much, Shelly.
Yeah.
Rocket stove. Stella says, really, you guys have done a lot in 3 years just from the clips that I watched. Well, thank you. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it, I think, because like we're so close to the projects and like there's so many things you want to do. And so like the list of things you want to do and have to do are always growing,
Right.
but the actual things you accomplish are still so low. But yeah, I mean, I guess I hear people saying like, "Oh wow, you guys have done so much out here." It's like, really, you think so? Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, sometimes it just doesn't feel like that. So I guess it's nice to get reminded every now and then. Should do a video comparing bills from a regular on-grid home and what you've paid in the RV. Cost comparison, pro con. Hmm. I
That's a
think
good
that's
idea.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Be interesting comparing those.
Do you know what the R value will be on your rammed earth walls? Um, Not good. Well, earthen walls aren't very insulative. They have a lot of thermal mass, but it doesn't have that insulation.
Mm.
So that's one reason we were thinking of adding straw bales. So we'll have the thermal mass plus insulation, and straw bales have pretty good R value.
Yeah, so yeah, that's one thing you gotta be aware of. Earthen building has a lot of thermal mass depending on the size of the walls. So the thicker you can make the walls, the more thermal mass it has. So what you got is like those earthen walls will collect heat throughout the day and then it'll give off that heat later on in the evening. I've experienced that with the shed, that the shed walls probably have like maybe 6 inches of earthen walls, so not that much. But like if you go out there just after dark, you can feel the heat radiating off of that. So the thicker those walls are, the more the control it'll give you versus the temperature. It'll kind of regulate things a little better throughout the day. Robin's going to post some pictures of things I've been working on the Facebook page. Excellent. Yeah. Um, yeah, we have a Facebook group, Greensteaders. Kind of a small group, but a really cool place if you're interested in checking it out and just kind of showing off what you're doing. If you got things you're growing, building, it's a great place to kind of just show people what you're doing.
Maybe get ideas
Get
from other
ideas,
people.
working like if you got questions, a great place to just kind of put in some questions and where people can kind of help each other out. Kind of focusing on permaculture, homestead, and that kind of thing. Uh-oh. Crew's upset. He probably saw something. That's I saw something bark.
Yeah, probably saw a rabbit.
Probably. I don't know. Rabbits don't seem to. Maybe it was a bird.
I think so.
Nah, we can't do a crew cam. He's outside somewhere. He's outside running around. That's what the people really want to see. Like crew's way up here, then just somewhere over here, and then I'm like way down. We know who the real money maker is over here. So I got to find you now on Facebook and subscribe to that. Yeah, I mean, we got a page there, we got a group there, so and we like to keep those avenues open for people wanting to contact us or if they got questions or anything like that. I think that Facebook group is a really great place if people have questions or something like that, because then there are more people around there that can possibly give some answers or something like that.
Drew asked if you have a favorite hot sauce.
Ooh. Hmm. That's a good question. I don't
I
know.
don't I don't eat hot
I
sauce.
don't think I have a favorite hot sauce. The most painful hot sauce I think I've ever eaten was that Reaper sauce. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Ooh. But I don't think it was like a Reaper sauce. I don't think it was like full
It
on,
wasn't pure
yeah, like
Carolina Reaper.
Carolina Reaper in there. I think it was a very tame version, but it was still very painful. I could only eat a few bites of that before like it's kind of tearing up a little bit.
Shelly asked, "What are you going to do with the floor?" Cement. We're going to do an earthen floor for part of the floor, and then we're gonna do wood on part of it. Probably using like recycled wood.
Insanity sauce. Matt Sim says I had a beer with ghost peppers in it. It was surprisingly good.
Whoa.
Well, I don't know if I have the guts for that. Liz says, hello from Colorado. I wanted to know, do you think this home will last through your retirement years? Will they hold up over time? It should. The question is, how well will we build it? I guess technically, if you want these things, like, I guess a lot of people tend to use stabilizers, and that technically could make it last a lot longer. But earthen homes last hundreds of years.
Yes. I mean, there's some really old homes that have been around for a very long time.
So as long as we're living out here, it might need like patching up here and there. It's possible, but like it's so easy to do with like an earthen home. You just slap
Yeah.
some more mud on there, and then you're protected. So the question is how long it would last, like after there's no one around to kind of protect it or patch it up. But it still could last quite a long time.
How long do you spend shooting, editing, and uploading videos?
Oof.
Seems like we're constantly doing that. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, we shoot videos, like we try to shoot a lot of just what we're doing. It takes a little extra time to do things then because you got to set up the camera and get the right shots and stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
So I don't know exactly how long that takes, but um, like the editing.
how many hours would you say you put into that? Because I do a lot of the filming. Not that she does. Like you do a little bit of filming, but I probably do like a bulk of the filming and camera work. And then I just send her a mess of footage that she has to go through and then put it into
Yeah.
make sense of it, basically.
Would you say maybe like 8 to 12 solid hours?
Is that what you would say?
Maybe.
Uh,
It depends on the video. Could be like
it might
6 to
be it
12.
might be pretty close, but I'd say it at least takes like a full 8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
8 to 12, maybe depending on the video to put together. And then yeah,
The upload doesn't take too long.
it just takes like filming. Like I don't regret documenting what we're doing out here. I think it's really great for us to be able to have that to look back on, and we really hope it's great for everyone that they can learn a little something about from what we're doing. Like, oh, that looks really interesting. That'd be a good thing to do. Or, man, that is a horrible idea. I'm glad I could see that misery play out over there. So hopefully it has some benefit for other people. But it does add quite a bit of extra time because, like, you just want to kind of, I always kind of want to, and I know you're the same way,
Yeah,
you
you
just kind of
just
want to jump out
get out
there,
there and
get
work.
things done, and then this just adds that other factor to it. I got to bring out the camera. You got to think of like where you want to put the camera to get different shots, and It gets to be a thing.
Jimmy asked, how long can you live in the RV? Are there rules about that?
Yes.
Yeah, we had to get a temporary RV permit that lets us live in the RV while we're building our house, and that's for 3 years, so it's coming up soon.
Yeah, so you can only live in the RV until the house is built, and you're then it's the house.
Yep.
So you can live in that while you build it.
Yeah. So like, if we need extra time, I think we can get an extension
Mm.
for another year or something.
Shelly says, I want to build an Earthbag home here in North Carolina, but I'm struggling with getting a permit.
Mm.
Yeah, that's is absolutely something that it's tough, but sometimes you got to check on that before you make those plans because in most areas, I would think it'd be very tough to get permitted for that. Not that you can't, but you need to find someone that like knows how to draw up architectural plans, get all that set. It can be a headache.
Yeah.
That's why we kind of chose where we are. We're lucky enough to get into a county that has that owner builder opt out. So although we need the permits, they don't do any inspections, and so the whole process gets is really easy to do. It gets moved along, probably a lot cheaper as well.
Mm.
So Chris says, my fiance and I will be moving out near you guys on our land in about a year. Would you allow a couple of guys to come help you with your build to get hands-on experience for our future dream? We were actually talking about that. We're not having people out here quite yet, but we were talking about setting up like a kind of like a contact list for that kind of thing when we're
Yeah,
ready.
I think we'll do that soon. Maybe I'll put that on the website or something. So if people are interested in, if we do hold some workshops or if people want to volunteer, they can sign up for that and then we can contact them and let them know. So I don't know, like in about a year, maybe, we would have something
Mm-hmm.
for that.
So we'll let you know about like a contact list, and we'll let people know once we get that up on the
Yeah, we'll
website.
try to do that soon.
I just think you guys are so cold. You're always happy, and you got a lot of energy. You're always happy no matter what happens. You guys are laughing. You're great to watch. Well, thank you so much.
Not always happy, but I think
we
we
yeah, I
try to
mean
stay optimistic, I guess, and
positive,
yeah, keep
positive.
it positive.
Keep it positive. We're not always that way, but it's hard. It's hard, kind of hard to be negative. Getting to do what we do.
Mhm.
This has been an absolute dream, and it's kind of hard to be. Not that there aren't negative times, but it's harder when you get to live this type of lifestyle. For us, I mean, we're living the dream. Quebec Homestead, hello.
How are you going to accumulate biomass and what cycles do you have in mind?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Um, I'm sure we'll be using different ground covers. I mean, it's a polyculture growing, but we'll also have animals out here.
Mhm.
Um,
I think it's going to be a slow. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on how much we can get going, but water is always an
yeah.
issue. But the more we can get growing, get in some, like you said, kind of cover crops, stuff like that, and really start kind of building up the soil. So I like to
We're
push that as
already
much as we can.
doing composting, compost our kitchen scraps, and do human manure composting too.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much, Quebec Homestead. We really appreciate you stopping in. It's a too personal question to ask, but what do y'all do to pay bills and buy supplies? Well, a lot of how we fund ourselves, at least when we started, was the fact that we kind of sold our property in the city, and that kind of funded a lot of our projects getting started out and stuff like that. Now we've just uh, kind of developed kind of an online presence, and that's been helping out.
Mm-hmm.
We sell like merchandise. We got a little bit of money coming in through YouTube, and then we're gonna just kind of continue on kind of building, um, putting out content online. We might start doing kind of like ebooks kind of thing, kind of start pushing some educational materials, things people might be interested in. Online entrepreneurs. That's the future, right?
Did
it,
the oh,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
See, someone asked, did the solar chimney end up working well, and how well?
Uh,
The one for the shed.
the
I
shed
don't think.
is it's tough to tell whether that is actually working or not. There's a bunch of things that we did to it, and the temperature maybe in the inside the shed maybe gets as it gets hot in there. It's maybe the same temperature as it would be like in the shade, but it's not really super comfortable like in the heat of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
But we never really finished it.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of things that we could do to kind of finish it off. Nothing is sealed. Um, it's just kind of one of those things that we never got to kind of put the finishing touches on.
Right.
So unfortunately, the solar chimney, we never got any real results on that. But I think we're going to be utilizing that same technique on the Earthbag dome, or at least kind of something similar. But we'll be using but I think we'll be using maybe a larger diameter pipe. I think I would like to go with metal versus like the plastic. What do you think? Are we still doing a solar chimney?
Well, I don't know. That kind of depends.
Oh, maybe she's moved away from that. I know we're kind of putting a lot of thought into the heating.
Yeah, but that might affect uh, what we can do as far as ventilation.
Uh, Harold Bottom says hello from Bisbee. Hey, Bisbee neighbor. Vanessa says, love watching you both. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you very much. From Nova Scotia, Canada. Is it possible to make an Earthbag house to code? Totally is. Probably depends on where you are and what code they're using, but you can have. I'm sure they absolutely have require places that you can kind of build that up to code, and that would be absolutely
Yeah,
fine.
you might be able to look that up, like Earthbag building codes.
But it might have its own code
Yeah.
depending on where you are. Is land cheap right now that way? Any tips to keep super cheap startups knowing what you two know now? From what I have heard, is that land prices are going up, and it's kind of difficult to find cheap parcels around here anymore. Um, but we haven't really been looking either. So my advice would be to look online, contact maybe some local realtors, and just kind of look around. And you never know what you might find. Some people are still finding deals, but I think land prices are technically, I think they're going up. Farpoint Station with a super chat. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Who empties the poop bucket more and who fills it more?
Oof.
Well, I'm probably filling it more and I empty it more.
Yeah.
Not that you don't. You still jump in there occasionally, but I'm usually the one that gets the buckets.
For both filling and emptying.
Do you have any questions that you have right up there?
We considered enclosing the garage area since it has a roof already. Ooh, that would be a lot of walls.
I'm not opposed to it. We haven't thought about it. We might do it occasionally, eventually.
Or even in like enclosing part of it or something.
Liz asks, since your home will last a long time due to all your great planning, thank you for that vote of confidence. Are you planning to expand your home later? Maybe invite family to come visit. Yeah, I mean, we might have maybe we'll what you think we'll build like a well, we'll have the RV as a potential place where people can still come and kind of maybe like a guest place or something like that. Would you build like a small maybe earthen thing for people to kind of stay in?
Oh, possibly.
That's a
The question.
possibility. We might. We don't have any plans yet, but you never know. If we get bored, we might build a whole other house. uh,
Ooh, wow. It's
yeah, I
that
think that
time.
is it. Our time is up. I don't want to go on too long. I know everyone's got things to do. We appreciate you guys spending the time with us that you do.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. These hours go so quick, don't they? So thank you everyone for being here. I hope we got a lot of those questions answered. Of course, we'll be here next Thursday to answer more questions. Thank you to our moderators, always doing an amazing job. Thank you. And then we'll have that video out Saturday, right? Back to videos, and we won't cheapskate you with another 1 minute video. All right. Good night, everyone.
Night.